Alright guys, my name is Ryan Hamilton. Welcome to the Panda MX5 channel, and today I got the Battle Aero 70-inch wing for Oreo.
Look at that.
Alright, so in addition to the wing, I also got the hub rings and the wheel spacers for the new wheels. So before I get started on the wing, that's going to be a different day. It'll be the same video for you guys, but a whole different day that I get around to doing that. I'm going to do a full test fit on the wheels with the new ones and set it down on the ground, see what it's going to look like, all that kind of stuff. So these are 10mm spacers. I'm running 10 mils in the front, so just one, and then two in the rear, so it's a 20 mil. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so I got all four wheels bolted up. We got the spacers 10mm in the front, 20mm in the rear. I also got the hub centric rings on, so everything lines up correctly now. I'm about to lower it down off the jacks, roll it off my ramps, and see all what it looks like. Just get a kind of idea of what the whole car is going to look like. Get everything seated. Oh, that's close. That actually has room in the front. Alright, so it's down on the ground. You just saw a couple little clips of how it's sitting. It is a little higher than it is going to be sitting right now. That's because I don't have my new springs yet. I don't want to mess with the height because it's still my daily. I don't want to mess with the alignment when I'm driving on my regular wheels. So once I get the 100Ks, it will go a little lower. And hopefully in the rear, you saw it's touching ever so slightly. Hopefully it gains a little bit more camber when I lower it and it's able to clear. If not, I'll mess with the fenders a little bit more, hopefully not too much. And then in the front, I can't hardly steer at all. I'm okay with that. I'm just going to be a little bit more careful with how I steer, backing out driveways and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I already am because I'm stupid low, but I'll just be a little more careful so I don't tear up a fender or something. So we'll get back to you in a little bit when I start on the wing, probably this weekend or something like that. Alright, so it's been a couple days. We're back about to install the chassis mount wing. So first what I'm going to do is jack it up, take the back wheels off, and then we have to take off the rear bumper and the finish panel. Alright, so now that the wheels are off, we have to pull off the tail lights, the finish panel, and then the rear bumper. So I'm going to pull out the carpet right here, undo the 10s on the tail lights, and then undo the finish panel and get both of those out of the way first. Alright, so now that both tail lights are out, I'm going to take off the finish panel. It's just like 4 10s and a little pop clips, like 2 or 3 of those, and pray to God it doesn't break. Okay, so now that the finish panel's off, I'm going to start on removing the bumper. There's a bunch of little plastic screws up here. There's some more along the bottom on the inside. And then there's about 2 or 3 on the inside of the fender that connect up the edges. Bumper is off, we have to remove this crash support, which is just 4 12s on either side. There's 2 on the bottom, 2 up here, and the same on this side. And then we can start mocking up the mounting plates for the wing. Alright, so now that everything's all set, I just went through my hardware, got all my hardware sorted out, and went through and counted everything in the numbers. And I took the bolts for right here that hold the mounting plates for the wing on, and I'm going to fit in this hole. So I went and counted, and I have enough to drill these out and use 4. Because a lot of pictures I've seen, people only use 3, but I'm going to go ahead and drill it out and use 4. That way it's a little more sturdy, has a little more support for the whole wing and everything. So I'm going to get a drill bit, drill that hole out, and then we'll put on the support brackets. Okay, so after I drilled out those holes and put on the support brackets, I used 4 bolts on each, got a washer on everything. Now we're going to put on the actual stands for the deck of the wing itself. There's a lot of different mounting options on there, so I'm just going to slide the bolts through, get it all kind of back together, get the deck on, get the end plates on, and then see like where I can set it to where I can still use my trunk, the lock, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll actually lock everything down, tighten it all up, and then get to throwing the bumper back on. Alright, so both of the actual stands themselves are on. I have them in the adjustable holes so I can move the wing up and back, kind of like this, to adjust like how the wing sits. So everything's all loose right now. We're going to get the deck and the end plates on. Then I'm going to like play with opening the trunk, setting into different like forward levels, what looks the best, how it all lines up. So right now, throw the deck on, throw the end plates on, and then start messing with that. Alright, so now that the deck is on, we're going to start playing with some angles. It definitely needs to lean forward a little more. And then I also can play with this right here as well. Just make sure I can still open the trunk easily without it being like super close, because I don't want it to be a crazy hassle every time I have to open my trunk. Like, oh, I'm going to hit the wing, blah, blah, blah. So we're definitely going to adjust this, put these in the top holes so it kind of angles itself down a little more, because it's definitely sitting way too flat right now. So we're just going to slap you guys in some more time lapse as we adjust angles and get everything looking cool. So everything's all adjusted. We got it angled down more in the front, so it's actually like down forcing a little bit, even though it doesn't actually. I have the support rod put in here. I'm probably going to chop these off a little bit because this is way too long. And then I'm also going to end up getting a new one probably that isn't threaded all the way across. It'll just look a lot cleaner if the threads start like here. And this is just like a nice smooth rod. I can paint it black or something like that. That'll be down the line a little bit. But right now I'm just going to throw the end plates on both sides of it. And then start test fitting my bumper and my finish panel, getting the body parts I'll put back on. Alright, so the end plates are on, all the bolts on the wing itself are tight, support bars in, everything's adjusted properly. I can open and close the trunk fully without it touching anything. I have about probably maybe a ½ inch, quarter inch of room, so it's got plenty of room. I'm not worried about it there. It's all tightened up. So what I'm going to do now is, the previous owner of my car left the exhaust like muffler deleted basically, and it melted the connector for the little side marker lights that go in the bumper right here. So I have the harness from the Panda Miata. I'm going to go look, see if I can find this harness right here, because it just plugs in. I'm going to see if I can find this connector for the other side, and then I'll be able to swap that. So when I put the bumper back on, I can have all my lights working, because those 2 lights haven't worked since I got the car. Alright, so I did find the harness from the other car, and it does have the socket, but this socket is not working for some reason. I know it's not the bulb, because you can see that bulb right now is working. I'm going to plug it in this one, and it's not going to work. jiggle it around, doesn't turn on. So I don't know. I'm gonna go take off all this sheathing stuff, see if I can find any damage or something to these wires, something I can fix. Try cleaning up the connector a little bit and see if I can get this light working. Alright, so I messed with the wiring a little bit. I didn't see anything in the wiring itself. So I just cleaned up the connector a little bit on both ends, the bulb end and the actual connector into the car harness. Put a little bit of dielectric grease on them, plugged them in, swapped bulbs around a little bit, and now they both work. Let me go turn my lights on real quick. And all of them actually do work. This one, oh, there it goes. A little sketchy, but you know, it works, it works. I won't be touching them once they're mounted in the bumper. They won't be moving around at all, so not too worried about it. But anyways, that's all good. I'm going to start mounting my bumper back, getting ready to trim that. Got the little slits in it so it can fit around the wing stands, and then we'll get the finish panel back on. Alright guys, so here's the finished product of the wing install. My bumper cuts need a lot of work. I am getting the body kit, and that includes a full rear bumper. So these I just got to fit. Then I'll be able to measure off of these, figure out the exact measurements I need to make on my new bumper with the body kit, so it'll look really nice and be flush and even on both sides and not down too far. As you can see, I did get the lights working, the side markers, so those are all fine. That was not too hard of a thing. To mount the bumper, because the bumper originally mounts to that large crash bar piece that fits in here, I had to make some brackets. There's 3 in the middle, then 1 on either edge there, that bolt onto the inside of the trunk wall and just kind of hold it up, because otherwise the only things holding it up were the ones in the fender wells. Those are all good, they're fine. The bumper is plenty sturdy, and once I get the body kit I'll be able to refine it a little more, fine tune everything, make the look a little better. But for right now, it's all done, it's all good. I'm gonna drive around like this until I'm able to get the body kit, and then we'll start messing with actually fitting the bumper correctly, making it look nice, cutting it. And I also did trim the little ladder bar right there, just so it looks a little better instead of, you know, 4 feet of stuff sticking out of the side over my tail light. But so that's gonna be it for this video. The next video will probably be the new spring, so I can actually fit my new wheels. So we'll catch you in that one. Thanks for watching.